world has changed. People have changed. Our time is over. Relics. Relics of a past that the rest of the world wants to forget, that they actively seek to destroy. Some of us changed, adapted with the times. Others tried and failed. Some of us never tried to begin with. In truth, there is nothing wrong with the way we lived our lives. They're just antiquated. Our morals, principles, ideas, theories, ways of acting, ways of treating other people, it's just out of place. It's not our world anymore. Those of us that didn't or couldn't change will likely spend the rest of our lives as outsiders, outcasts, relics of a past many people would like to forget. It's not our fault. That's just how things worked out. We tried. Didn't work out. People didn't accept us. We tried accepting them. They didn't want it. We tried coexisting. A lot of us were able to blend in by keeping quiet and just tending to our own business, but after a while, even that wasn't enough. People were never going to be happy as long as we were there. Out there in the world, being who we are, doing what we do, even if it doesn't affect them. There is a growing feeling of intolerance, of spite towards people like us, people who don't gel, I guess, with the rest of the world. We've always been content to live and let live, but we're not being allowed that same courtesy. Those are the times we live in. The world has changed. I don't know when. All I know is my way of life is a thing of the past. For better or for worse. Our war never ended. People just chose not to acknowledge it at some point. It still goes on. To this day, it's not clear who's going to win. Maybe it'll just go on forever. And maybe people just don't care. When it does finally end, a lot of us won't have a home to go back to. Won't have a country that claims us. Won't have a people to welcome us home. It's a frightening thought. We've all been outsiders. Some more than others, some longer than others. It's it's like a pain, like a chronic pain that's just below the skin. It's one you can't really treat, you just sort of learn to live with. And some days it's less noticeable, other days it's like it's not even there, but occasionally there are those days when it flares up. Those are the hard days. Those are the days when we really need to watch what we say. We never change what we think unless our conscience tells us it's wrong. We don't change. I was always raised to think that it wasn't unreasonable to expect people to just accept us for who we are and acknowledge the fact that our thoughts and opinions are valid. I had no idea how much audacity there was in that simple thought. That's not the world we live in. We don't get to be accepted. Not by the crowd. We're outliers. Outcasts. Children of a time that is no more. Some would call us renegades, others freaks, what have you. There's always a label. Growing up, I was taught labels were bad because they separated us, turned us into something other than what we really are, and that's humans who are all part of a bigger tribe, I suppose. Nowadays, labels define us. People want to be labeled. People want to stand out from those around them, not for who they are, but rather what they are, how they act, what they believe. I was taught to avoid labels. I thought that we were all just people, equal. You fight for me, I'll fight for you. You help me, I'll help you. Turns out it's not that simple. I'm a relic of the past. A past that many people seek to destroy. Because we just don't work for them anymore. I always thought when I was put out to pasture I'd be old, tired. I never thought in my youth that I would be an outlier, an outsider. But that's just the way it is. That's the way things work out. I'll do what I can. I'll find that small, precious group, and we'll cling to each other, and we'll find a way to live the rest of our lives in peace, away from a world that despises us, a world that, no matter how hard we try, we'll never truly be able to fit into. It'll be a quiet life. No excitement, no fame, but there will be peace. We'll succeed in our small spaces. We'll find things that are meaningful to us. We'll work towards goals that we believe in. It'll be a quiet existence. Maybe it'll be restful. After everything we've been through, restful doesn't sound too bad. We tried. We all tried. and it just didn't work out. But we have to keep going. That's what keeps us alive. That we don't give up. That we just keep trying. And when we stop trying to belong, then we start trying to grow as people. I think I'd like to try that for a while. Because I'm tired. I don't want to keep fighting just to try to fit in. That's the thing about relics. They're always, by their nature, separated. Separated from others who just don't get them. It's not my world anymore. But I found a space in it where I can live in peace with a small, precious handful of like-minded people. I think things are going to be okay. It'll be hard, painful, but in the long run, it'll bring us peace, security. We'll be safe. We tried to belong. But in the end, we couldn't because there was this voice inside of us saying, don't do this. It's not worth it. What you'll gain is nothing compared to what you'll lose. And so I took a step back, and I decided that it just wasn't meant for me. I took a step away, and I learned this is not my world anymore. But I keep going for that small, precious few that I can call my own. I found a people. And we're a small, broken people, but we're good enough for each other. And in the end, even if our legacy is forgotten, there will always be those few who still remember. There'll always be those who saw that we made a difference. I guess that's what we leave behind. Whether or not we belong in this world or not, we all leave something behind. And I'll see to it that my contribution to the world is a positive one. That maybe somewhere I made things a little bit better for someone. Our time is over. The world has changed. We don't belong. But why would you want to? If it means sacrificing who you are. We'll be okay. As long as we maintain that small, safe place and stay close to those precious few, everything will be all right. That's the one thing no one can take from us. No matter how hard they try. I'll be here for you. You'll be here for me. We'll make it work. Until then, just do your best. That's all anyone can ask for. Thank you for speaking with me. Everything's going to be all right. I promise. Just want to give a shout out to my first member, Thessa Simor. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Thank you for your support through the membership program on YouTube. YouTube did inform me that the money won't actually make it to me since I'm not making their payment threshold. So if you guys want to use Patreon instead, it might work a little bit better. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The support means a lot to me, and it helps me keep doing what I love and making new content for you guys. Okay, thank you very much.